Welcome to the shack. We're about to rock. We got the Deacon 2 and DZ. Dr. DZ, how about you? Stories from the shack.
Hello everyone and welcome to Stories from the Shack. I'm the Deacon and this is Dr. DZ, and we are going to talk about school days and all those wonderful years. 4 years for most of us, but I'm a little better educated than most of you. I went to high school 6 years, and I'm going to start out with DZ.
Well, on that note, what I can remember most about high school is, kind of growing into yourself, the awkward years of your life, trying to prove something, and also trying to figure out yourself. One thing I remember most is trying to pick up the girls, but it always seemed like that never happened very well, until I got older and met my wife, thank God. But, yeah, that was... I remember sports becoming more serious and less fun when high school came around. And that was kind of a bummer. It seemed like the coaching became more militaristic. Mm. So that was one thing that I remembered. I remember starting to experiment with things, the partying, whether it be beer or what have you, at a young age, and which isn't good.
No, don't y'all do that.
Don't do that. No, it definitely was bad stuff to do. And I definitely regret, there's lots of regrets that, from high school, that being one of them.
Yeah, everybody, I remember being in high school. My sophomore year, my English teacher, he had just got out of college. This was his first teaching job. And he was actually on the 1958 Indiana High School Championship basketball team. And he was a great guy. Later on in his career, he ended up being a principal and then on superintendent's board or something. But he would actually bring in films of his games to watch. This is English class, right?
Yeah.
So we're learning how to dribble, right, in English. So I remember those kind of things were pretty interesting, kind of a little odd, a little different. But he was an excellent teacher, and I remember he was explaining something one time. Of course, I don't remember exactly what he was talking about, but I remember him saying something that really stuck with me. He said, "I really never understood this until I started teaching it."
Okay.
So to me, that meant, wow, this guy's really speaking to us because we're struggling with it. So I don't know if he's implying we should be teachers or what he was doing with that. At any rate, I remember that quite vividly. He was a great teacher. I really liked him. Probably my favorite teacher in my whole education.
I had a couple of those. I had a teacher, I can't remember her name, but she was a literature teacher. She taught dramatic lit, and she would teach AP English, things like that. And she was the one who actually inspired me to want to write. She read a couple of my compositions. She's like, well, you should try this, you know what I mean? And she was really encouraging, and but also challenging at the same time. So that was also, I think, very important. And that was one thing I remember. Good teachers. Other than her, there might have been one or two others that really, when I look back on it, made a difference. But that's got to be hard. To try to make a difference in kids' lives who aren't looking to have a difference being made. Some high school kids can be pretty difficult, and I was definitely one of them that was difficult.
Yeah, I really liked machine shop. I was like 2 or 3 projects ahead of everyone in the class. I mean, I just really excelled. And the teacher was just this, oh my goodness, he was a Gestapo, right? For lack of a better phrase. He would cuss at us and slap us. He literally kicked one kid in the butt told him to get out of his class. He was a good teacher, don't get me wrong, and we thought it was kind of funny at the time, as long as we weren't getting kicked in the butt ourselves, right? But I remember I was adjusting the tool on a metal lathe. I don't know if you know how that works, but the wrench slipped, and this knuckle slid right on the cutting tool and laid it right open. I could see my bones. So, I wrapped it like this, and I go up to the teacher, and I say, hey, I need to go to see the nurse, blah, blah, blah. He said, well, let me see. And I showed him. So he literally grabbed me by my finger that was cut and drug it over to the wash basin. It's one of those you stood on the ring and little squirts of water came out all around.
Yeah.
So he pulls that apart as far as he can and sticks it underneath one of those streams of water, I said, man, what's wrong with you? He said, shut up. So anyway, he washed it off. He pushed it back together, put a butterfly Band-Aid on it, told me to go back to work. So I did.
Did you end up getting stitches later?
No, never got. I think you can still see it on a good day.
Yeah.
But now I'm thinking, whoa, man. And if someone would do that today, he'd be in jail, right?
Yeah. Sure. Absolutely.
But he was crude and rude, but he was good at what he did, and he was used to working in the professional environment, right? And that's the way people in that industry acted and talked and did things, It's rude and crude.
So that makes sense because I had a few shop teachers as well in the middle school era and early high school. I didn't take it too far after early high school, maybe freshman, sophomore year. And they seemed a little rough around the edges.
Yeah, they're
They
not,
really
your little algebra teacher lady with, the nice tight little hairdo.
Oh, yeah.
Mary Poppins. Or,
They are not.
That's just factory talk.
Yeah, factory talk. I like that. That's
Shop
Tim.
talk. That's shop talk right there.
Yeah, that's Matt, our man behind the scene. We'll give him a shout out every once in a while. He keeps us straight and on time, so we appreciate everything he does. Maybe
Thank
he'll
you,
come on
Matt.
this side of the camera one of these times and surprise you all. But I remember one incident in high school, and I probably shouldn't tell you young kids this, but it was wintertime, of course. I think probably January, February, perhaps. And I went to school, and I was in my homeroom, and I was sitting there. And I look at the doorway, and there's a friend of mine who had dropped out of school. He was a couple years older than me. He said, psh, psh, come here. I said, what? Psh, psh. So I said, what do you want? He said, his girlfriend had a 442, right? And he says, hey, I got Ian's car. He said, let's go for a ride, man. Let's go. I said, man, I'm already here. I can't. So I left. After I'd already been in the class, right? I left and skipped school with this guy, and we're out terrorizing the town in this 442 all day. And it was just too funny. I mean, he was crazier than me, if that's possible. But I'll never forget that day. Man, we were just out terrorizing everything, racing everybody, just.
It seemed to be pretty easy to skip school back then. I remember even when I was in school, I just walk right out the door and come back in and sneak in as long as the liaison officer wasn't there.
Yeah. Well, one interesting things about when I was in high school is if you're a boy, you couldn't have sideburns, you couldn't have a beard. You had to be clean shaven. So often I would go to school unshaved. So they would send me home to shave, and of course I never came back. Right?
Yeah.
So it didn't take them long to figure that one out. So next time the teacher sent me to the dean's office to get a shave, he laid an electric razor and a safety razor on the table. He said, which one do you choose? Go to the boys' room and shave and come back. So I blew that deal. Right? So I was kind of a crazy kid in high school. It's one I got through 6 years. I mean, but yeah, I remember those high school days a lot. My biology teacher was a pretty cool guy too. So I liked him, especially when you're dissecting frogs and stuff. He was.
See, I never liked that. I was too squeamish. I don't see frogs, any of that stuff. Guinea pigs, I think we had to do once. Couldn't do it. Could not do it.
Well, it's funny you're talking about girls, right? In high school.
Sure.
I blew this. I mean, a lot of us did, right? There's this one guy I knew, and he took home ec. And I said, what's wrong with you, man? What are you taking home ec for? He said, that's where all the girls are.
It's true.
So I'm thinking, oh man, stupid me, right? I can't take it next semester because of, you know.
Easy A.
Yeah,
If you know how to cook, well, that I guess, yeah. If you don't know how to cook.
I remember walking down the hall smelling a lot of burnt food, though.
Yeah.
So anyway, I never thought about that, you know. He's out thinking outside the box, right? Yeah, and well, according there again with biology, when they started doing the frogs, you could smell that the whole school stunk.
The formaldehyde,
Formaldehyde, so, you know, we always knew what was happening. The home ec was going well, or you're just cutting up frogs.
I can remember another thing that sticks out when I'm looking back to high school is our senior prank. We did a food fight, and it got leaked.
Like Animal House.
Yeah, like Animal, exactly like that. I mean, it got leaked to the to all the staff and everything. They actually had the police officers come in and stand guard, and we still did it. Still did it. Some of those police officers were getting mashed potatoes and stuff, and. Yeah, I remember everyone running out and leaving, and we went back. I'm not gonna say who, but it was we met at a mutual friend's house, and all of a sudden we're sitting there because we ran out of school, skipped after we did the food fight, of course, and we're sitting there, we're looking around, and then all of a sudden, whose house we're at, his dad goes, "Where's so and so?" Well, he got caught, and he got snatched up and had to stay and clean up afterwards. Come to find out, no one realized that he wasn't with anyone who was making the escape. Yeah. And I remember him being pretty upset afterwards, being like, I took the blame for like 100 people. But
I remember one year there was a senior. I think I was a junior maybe at the time. There was a senior. It was getting toward the end of the school year, you know, and the school didn't have air conditioning, but they had windows that opened. And this one senior guy, he was like only 5 foot tall, right? And a bunch of guys threw him out the window. It wasn't very far; it was like a couple feet, right? But I thought that was pretty sad and funny.
Here, I'm thinking the second story.
No, I wasn't saying they just threw him out because I saw it. I said, "What's going on here?" You know, and he threw me out the window. And of course, it was his friends. I mean, it wasn't hostile.
Yeah.
You know, they're just making fun of him, having crazy, you know, high school kids. You know, how we think differently than real people. But yeah, that was he didn't get hurt, of course. The ground was soft, so it wasn't like you threw him out on concrete or things. The lawn was there, so that.
When you first said it like that, I was thinking hostile. I was like, poor guy out the window.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. He's a nice guy. Everybody liked him, but it's like stuffing short guys in lockers, you know, that kind of stuff.
Throwing them out windows.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah.
That is. I don't have any quite like that.
I remember when I was a freshman, right? I used to ride to school with a neighbor just across the street. He was same grade as I was. His mother would always take us to school, and then I would always, you know, find my way home. And then that year, our yearbooks got delayed, so they weren't ready when school was done. So he went to school to pick mine up when he picked his up. But throughout the year, there was this big fat girl. I mean, she was a senior, right? And I was a freshman. And for some reason, she took a liking to me. I don't know why. You know, I treated her nice. Mary Knott, I think, was her name. I'll never forget. So anyway, Paul, you know, he goes and gets my book, and this Mary, or whatever her name was on the committee that put the book together, right? So I remember him coming back, and he's handing me my yearbook, and he's kind of laughing. And I said, "Well, what's so funny?" He said, "Oh, Mary said to say hi to you."
Yeah, I remember. busting each other's chops.
Yeah. So I said, okay. Did she give you a kiss for me? He didn't say anything, but I just thought that was kind of funny that she was there. I don't know what I'd done if I was there. She was there handing me my book, or probably nothing.
Who knows?
Yeah, we might have been married. Heck. I don't know.
Never know.
But that was kind of funny. I don't know why I remember that, but.
Well, Deacon, I think we're running out of time.
Oh, we did it again?
We did it again. We went over.
All right. Well,
what we do.
That's our story about school days. See ya.
If you can relate to any of this, or you like any of the stories, or you have any stories that you would like us to, or any topics you'd like us to talk about, go ahead and share that in the subscription or in the descriptions in the comments, and hit that like button.